Let's talk about spiritual music,
Yes.
music that has inspired you in different forms, and just tell us about what you're doing now in terms of spirituality and what have you.
Well, I also have a very deep love, for Jesus, for spiritual things. And so what I've done recently, I've started recording some Christian recordings too. I just finished doing one called Do As Jesus Would Do, which was from a book called In His Footsteps, a little book that was actually published in 1898. And I got the idea for the song because throughout the whole book they talk about a city changing their whole lifestyle. All the businesses change, the people change, and they lead a life like Jesus would want them to lead. For instance, a lady that was studying to be an opera singer, she was going to go to New York, decided to stay and do tent revivals. And business people, they changed their way of advertising. They did things that were more ethical, if you want to put it that way. And the theme that kept spinning through in that book was "Do as Jesus Would Do," and I thought that'd make a great song title. So I recorded a song called "Do as Jesus Would Do," and it's got a great kind of a bluesy rock and roll type background on it, and people seem to really like it. It's a fun song. So it's a Christian song that can be fun. I mean, Christian songs can be very fun, especially the way they're recording them nowadays. The message is there, but also the fun of the music is there too. What happened is it was a gradual process getting into the Christian music. It didn't just all of a sudden hit me. It took time, years, and it just kind of grows. Christian people will understand what I'm talking about, that it takes time. You keep learning, you keep growing, you study, you learn things, you get inspired, the Spirit hits you more, you just feel it more. So what happened is, because I started getting into the Christian music, I started going, doing appearances on TCT, Total Christian Television in Grand Rapids, Michigan. I would go out to Grand Valley, which is a college outside of Grand Rapids, and I'd go to a little studio there, and I would bring in these soundtracks of different songs, some of course that I did not write. They were Southern gospel tunes, and I really did mainly Southern gospel on the radio or on the TV station. And I did several programs. We had one program that went down the East Coast, but most of them were hitting around my hometown, Grand Rapids, the Muskegon, Holland, Kalamazoo area. And that was very, very interesting. I really enjoyed it. And they were programs that they would interview different writers of books, because it happened to be Grand Rapids is quite a Christian area. They have a lot of, like the Zondervan Book Company, and they have Baker, and they have a lot of beautiful churches. And the church I went to there, Assembly of God, held 5,000 people. We had a orchestra of 60 musicians in a pit, 300 voice choir. It was just like being in heaven before going to heaven. It was wonderful, and that's where I had a chance to sing with the choir and also to start doing the television things. Mm-hmm. And of course now I'm living in Florida now, and I'm going to a couple different churches. Calvary Chapel, which is a great church. It's a non-denominational type church. It holds about 3,500 people. They have, it's all set up. It's, I guess, what you would call a mega church. They have 3 large screens in the front where the band plays and the choir and all that. There's 3 big gigantic screens. I noticed they just added another one today when I was there. They also got 2 screens in the back where people can see, because you're so far away from the minister, you can't see them unless you bring binoculars. So they have these big gigantic screens, and the music, of course, in that particular church, in Calvary Chapel, where I go, is more Christian contemporary. Also go to a Spanish church, which I love very much, and I'm learning to sing in Spanish. I would like to be able to do bilingual in my Christian songs, and also other songs too. It wouldn't hurt to maybe even do a juju song, dub it in Spanish or something. So that's what's been happening in the Christian music. Right now I sing with the worship team at the Spanish church, and I'm enjoying it immensely.